You are 14 years old when you discover how much a human life is worth. 5,000 pesos. Less than a used iPhone costs. Less than your mom earns by cleaning houses for 2 months. That is the amount they offer you for standing in a corner, looking at cell phones you'll never be able to buy. You don't shoot or even touch anything illegal. You only send a text message when you see patrol cars. 3 letters law. 2 weeks later you learn that 7 people died in an operation, failed because your message arrived 90 seconds late. Nobody tells you nothing, they pay you your 5,000 pesos in crumpled, gasoline-smelling bills. Welcome to the Sinaloa sign. This is how it feels every range from the hawk who can't even buy coke to the kingpin who can't even sleep anymore. And I warn you something, the last step is not the one you think it is, because they all end up in the same place. Hawk salary between 5,000 and 8,000 pesos per month. Average age 12 to 17 years old. Life expectancy 8 months. You are invisible until you stop being invisible. Your job is simple. You see something strange, send a message. You charge, you don't charge anything, you don't sell anything. You are an external contributor, as if this were a startup. The problem is that the police do not see differences in death records. Your first day you are positioned in the corner of an OXXO, you get a Nokia of 2009 with a single number saved. 3 codes lay if you see patrols, if you see rivals Lima. If everything is clean, the first week you earn 1,200 pesos. Is more than your dad earns in 3 days of uploading blogs. Your mom asks from where you took money to buy his medicine. You tell him that a neighbor paid you to help him. Technically you don't lie, but here comes the interesting thing. Do you know why hawks are almost always minors? It is not because they are cheaper. It's because if they are caught in 6 months they are free. The juvenile penal system in Mexico is a joke. The real danger is not the law. Is to get the wrong code you send Lima. When you should have sent a law, a white pickup truck passes by. Fur types are lowered. 200 kilos of white powder are discharged. Just as the patrols arrive. Someone loses $2 million, they don't fire you. Disappear or worse. Send you to the next thing to come. Let me ask you a question. If you were 14 years old, your mother costs 5,000 pesos between life and death, you would stand by and watch it move. That is why there are 250,000 hawks only in Sinaloa. Mule salary between 10,000 and 20,000 pesos per trip. Average age 16 to 25 years old. Survival test after 10 trips. 34%. You think this is like a summer job. Spoiler, summer never ends, and you probably do. Your first trip is easy. Bring a package of Culiac and to Tijuana. 1,200 kilometers, 15,000 pesos, 3 days. You account. In 1 month you can earn what your dad earns in 6 months. What no one tells you is that you are carrying 40 kilos of dust. White hidden in a suburban gas tank. Of the 2007, if you get caught it's automatic 10 years. If you get caught by the opponent's side, there are not even years because there is no body to count. The first retainer makes you sweat ice. A federalist checks your license, asks you where you are going. You say visit my grandmother and to want to look at you. 8 full seconds tells you ahead. You breathe for the first time in 90 kilometers. You arrive, you deliver cobras, you feel invincible, mistake. On the 3rd trip a tire explodes at 2 o'clock in the morning. There is a cell phone for 100 meters ahead that was not marked in GPS. You have 2 options. Change the tire and take a chance, or abandon yourself. The van with 40 kilos and $2 million. You choose the 3rd option that does not exist. You run 11 kilometers on foot through the desert. You lose a shoe. A scorpion stings your ankle. You arrive in a town. You call the emergency number and they pick you up. Say nothing all the way. Bad sign, you are taken to a house. There are 3 people sitting in plastic chairs. You recognize one was a mule, as you were. Your boss explains quietly that the lost merchandise is worth $2 million. Your family does not have that. You don't have that, gives you 2 options. You work for free until pay for it or resolve it any faster. The second option includes a shovel. In a wasteland, you choose the first one. You have just signed a contract with no exit clause. You frequently make more trips in 11 months. The risk is increasing. You see burned vans with bodies inside. Some have uniforms. Others have school backpacks. On the 34 voyage, you almost got caught by the marina. You hide in a cornfield for 2 days eating raw corn. When you return, you are paid $8,000 instead of $15,000. For the delay, you don't complain. Those who complain become statistics. And just when you think it can no longer get worse, they make you the offer, which no one rejects because it is to say, I am no longer useful. They offer you to level up. Better pay, more respect. Weapon included sounds good until you understand what it means. Hitman salary. Between 15,000 and 40,000 pesos per month plus work bonuses. Average age to 28 years old. Annual mortality rate 47%. You do your first job, a lunch at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in a taqueria. The target is eating tacos de asada. Does not know he has 90 seconds to live. You didn't know this would be so easy either. That's the part that destroys you, not the act, how easy it was. You enter, he turns. Your hands do not shake to shots fall, you go out. The motorcycle is already on. 11 blocks later you change clothes. You come home, your mom serves you puzzle. You eat in silence. You have just killed your first person. You earn 25,000 pesos. Bonus is a normal Wednesday. The first week you can't sleep. You see his face. You hear the sound. You smell the gunpowder mixed with roast beef. You vomit 3 times. The second week you sleep for hours. The third week no longer. You don't think that much. In the fourth job you don't even remember the face. Are no longer people. Are package objectives. Pending, your boss also says, we have 3 deliveries this week. As if they were orders. Here comes the interesting. Do you know how much a human life costs on the market? Sinaloa hitman. Depends on the objective. Common citizen between 5,000 and 15,000 pesos. Municipal police 20,000 pesos. Journalist between 50,000 and 100,000 pesos. Costs 150,000 pesos. Cartel rival 1,000 plus promotion. There is still a price menu. You do 23 jobs in 14 months. Each one easier than the previous one. That's the real problem. Not that it becomes more difficult, it becomes routine to start taking sleeping pills. Then to wake up. Then to function. One day your goal turns out to be a second cousin. You dressed twice at family weddings. Your boss says there is a problem. You know what to say. Yes, it means I'm no good anymore. You say no. You do it cobras. That night you take twice as much pills. Your mom asks why you have so much money. You tell him that you do logistics for a company. She doesn't ask anymore because deep down she doesn't want to know. But be careful with this. This job has 2 forms of retirement. Ascend or die. No smile, no resignation. And just when you think you've reached the top, you're offered the next level. Responsibility. Territories, people under your command. Salary of head of position. Between 80,000 and 200,000 pesos per month. Higher percentage of operations. Average age 28 to 40 years old. Life expectancy months. Now you have 40 people. Hitman 100 hawks playing mules. 15 cooks, 8 accountants. 3 lawyers, and a territory the size of 3 municipalities. Your top boss explains the rules. 1 delivers 15 million pesos per month at least. 2 you keep the square quiet. 3 local police officers are aligned. For if you fail we will replace you. It does not say goodbye, it says we replace the first month you produce million. Everything flows in the second month. A poster. Opponent decides that your place is now his place. 3 of your hawks are killed on a Monday. 5 of your hitmen disappear on a Wednesday. Their bodies found lying on a bridge on Friday. You have 72 hours to respond or appear weak. To look weak is to die. You send 15 of your best. 8 return. The other 7 are in black bags in enemy territory. The war lasts 3 months. You lose 40% of your staff. You spend $4 million on weapons. The territory seems too. War zone. Only 9 million deliveries. That trimester your boss calls you, don't raise his voice, that's worse. Gives you a month to fix things. You make things right. You negotiate territory with your opponent. You give up 30% of your place. You publicly execute 2 of your own. Hired killers who failed. You pay the general of the zone an extra 500,000 pesos. You produce 14 million deliveries the following month. But one of your accountants takes 8 months. Stealing 200,000 a month. You find out because his son appears on Instagram with 15,000 pesos tennis shoes. You know what to do. This counter ate at home. Their children played with yours, you do it anyway. Because if you don't, everyone starts to think they can steal. You stop going home. You sleep in for different places each week. You change your cell phone every 5 days. You travel with 6 bodyguards. You are no longer a plaza boss. You are a walking target with a budget for your children. They ask you why there are gentlemen with guns in the house. You tell them that dad works in private security. Your 9-year-old daughter asks why private security needs bazookas. After months, there are only 2 ways to get out: up or down. Lieutenants' place salary between 500,000 and 2 million pesos per month. More percentages. Average age 35 to 50 years old. You no longer have a place. You have 5 states and you no longer have 40 hitmen. You have 2,000, you no longer move 15 million. 150 million Colombians per month. Your typical day. You wake up on a ranch of 400 hectares surrounded by 50 guards. Video conference with your 5 plaza bosses. 1 reports problems, you replace it immediately. Meeting with the you financed for governor. Wants to renegotiate. You remind him that 60% of his campaign, it was your money. Spoke with an agent of the D. No, it happens to you. Operations information. Federal, you pass information on rival cartels to him. Everyone wins, except for rivals that fall in random entanglements. Your accountant shows you the quarter numbers. Revenues 450 million pesos. 180 million expenses. Bribes 120 million profit. 110 million you are more profitable than half of the companies on the stock exchange. Declaration of values. Dinner with your family. Your 3 children study at private universities in the United States. They don't know exactly what you are doing. Never ask. Your wife asks if you can go on vacation to Europe. You say yes. Then you remember that you have 14 arrest warrants. And your face in the top 10 of the most wanted. They say that money does not buy happiness. Buy 6 houses you cannot visit. 10 cars you can't drive. And a family you can't see without putting at risk. But the most brutal part is paranoia. Every meal may be poisoned. Every driver may be an informant. Every bodyguard can be a hitman in disguise. You sleep 3 hours a day, the rest you pretend to sleep with a Glock under the pillow. You have seen 12 lieutenants in the last 5 years. 3 executed for arrested to missing 3. Retreats that no one believes. You know that your name is on that list. The question is not yes, it is when. And just when you think you've reached the maximum, the call comes. The capo wants to see you. Capo salary numbers that no longer mean anything. Life expectancy. Ask Chapo. You control 11 states, 40,000 people, 2 billion work for you. Of dollars per year. You have similarities in your politicians who avoid saying your name in public. You are untouchable until you are not. Because the bigger you get, bigger is the white on your back. Your greatest enemy is no longer the opposing cartel. It is the government of the United States. That is the D has 400 agents working on your case alone. Your reward of $5 million. 5 million, for you it's what you spend on bribes in a normal month. You have 140 lawyers. You have 3-kilometer drug tunnels with rails. You have laboratories that look like chemical plants. You have useless submarine aircraft. And yet you sleep in bunkers. Subway changing location. Every 48 hours, your most loyal lieutenant has been negotiating with the D for 3 months. You will find out when 400 Marines. Helicopter crash on your ranch. A lunch at 4 o'clock in the morning. That day at the age of 67. Arthritis and diabetes. You will run through tunnels that you built for this moment. You will escape through a sewer to kilometers later. For now, we'll live 6 more months in hiding eating canned food. You who once had dinner with presidents. And when you finally get caught, it won't be in an epic shootout. We'll be in a middle-class house in Mazatlan. You will be in pants watching soap operas. You will be extradited. New York trial, life imprisonment plus 30 years. You are locked up in Ags Florence, Colorado Supermax. 23 hours, daily in a density of 2 by 3 meters. 0 human contact, 0 windows. You will live 40 more years there. You will die of old age in a cell looking at white walls. Your children will not come to your funeral. Your empire was divided among 4 lieutenants who now kill each other. Was worth it? Difficult question, because 90% of the people in this hierarchy never had a real choice. Started with 5,000 pesos to save mom. Ended up moving to billion. But unable to save even his own soul. Here's the plot twist, the real last one. Step is not a capo, it is a pilot. Pilots crossing tons of white powder from Colombia. Flying at an altitude of 50 meters, evading radar. That land on makeshift roads, those guys earn between $100,000 and $500,000 per flight. Make 3 flights a month. Life of millionaires. And here's the crazy thing, the D lets them work. Not because they are good. Because they have bought them. You want to know what it feels like to be the most valuable pilot in El Chapo Guzman while secretly passing him by information to the and you survive playing on both sides. I have another video that tells exactly that. Say Llama POV. You are the Chapo pilot and the DEA has bought you. After listening to all this hierarchy, that story is going to blow your head off. Because it's the only position where you can really win. Or die twice as fast, you decide.